up a 6-inch sub for just $3.99. That's a 6-inch Penn Station sub for just $3.99 all day every Tuesday through November. Simply order online or through the Penn Station app. Use promo code UL399 and your 6-inch Penn Station sub is just $3.99.
Anyone can deliver a box of groceries, but when you consider the source, only Kroger can bring you the fresh, delicious food and quality products you already know and love. And no matter how you like to get your groceries, Kroger makes it easy with store pickup. And now you can have your order shipped right to your door. So now it's easier than ever to check out while you're chilling when you shop online with the Kroger app or at Kroger.com today.
You good? All right.
This is Marcus Maven, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville from the OPC Services Studio.
That's his game. They don't get back. Hayward's look at this steal. Here's the steal. 3-on-1. Alley-oop. Oh, my goodness. Marcus Maven. And you certainly are in love with him here in Louisville. Marcus in the open floor. Hops incredible. Here comes Maven off the steal.
Get up, get up, get up, get up. Let's get ready for Marcus Maven. You're about midway to the midday with Marcus Maven. And you can call in, I lay back and just listen to Marcus Maven. So sit back and relax and watch Maven. Break it down like this. Woo!
Broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services Studio. Time for Middays with Marcus Maven on 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Marcus Maven and Steve Rummage.
Welcome back. It's midday with Marcus Maven. 8150, 93.9 is the number, 93.9 is the station, and I'm gotta admit, people, when my commute to work is clear and open road, it just brightens up my day. And I'm here to pass along the good vibes to you, along with the assistance of Steve Rummage in the building, Brian Hall in the booth.
Well, today's one of them awkward days where you don't really know where to start because there's about 100 things we could talk about today. And we're going to try to get to them all in 120 minutes.
I tell you what, we'll ask for a little help and we'll kind of follow along the path. 8150 93.9 is the number. 3831 93.9 is the text line. We'll kind of ride the wave of the conversation.
Yeah.
But if they don't throw in the subjects, we will be the captains of the ship.
And it's going to be. I think today, again, it's a Monday. We said Friday. We said, look, no matter what happens this weekend, you're going to come in Monday. I think Monday could be emotional no matter what happens.
Brian Hall in the booth. Brian, what's going on, my man?
Well, it was another typical weekend this year, a bad weekend in football and a good weekend in basketball. So
was it a bad weekend in football?
Well, the 21-point blowout on Saturday. Then we have the Western Kentucky loss.
Was it true?
Then we have the Minnesota Vikings loss on Sunday Night Football. And then we have the Louisville basketball victory against Bellarmine. Sorry, Coach Davenport, the one time I'll cheer against you is when you play the Cards. But good win for the Cards.
Steve, was it really a bad weekend for football? I'm betting you went into that one. Yeah. Yes, Steve, it was a terrible weekend for football.
It was terrible for the team. Yes.
Lamar Jackson got his first passing touchdown.
How about that?
Jair Alexander. Did y'all watch the Packers?
Well, yeah.
I heard the buzz about him.
Let's start there because, look, between Sheldon Rankins dominating the Vikings last night.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Rough.
Jair Alexander doing his thing. I mean, you got Trez out there all of a sudden becoming one of the best.
What about Devontae Parker on Thursday?
Yeah, Devontae looked good
Cowboys
on Thursday.
Lose.
Cowboys didn't lose yesterday. That was good. I mean, there was a ton of stuff as far as pros. That's fun. Donovan, of course, has always been doing his thing.
So how about this, Steve?
Yeah.
How funny is this? How angry is Marcus Maven when he's watching Sheldon Rankins, when he's watching Lamar Jackson, when he's watching Jair Alexander? And and I go back, I trace myself back to, the last few years and sitting on this radio and say, hey, people, we have players on this team that are going to be game changers in the NFL. Oh, man, it's Louisville. No, people, we have playmakers on this team. If we get them in the right situation, if we can keep them healthy, you know what I'm saying, this team can make noise against anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Kentucky wins 15-40. Oh, those are playmakers everywhere.
I know, man. They got so lucky too. Dude,
I'm sorry. Steve, don't let me do that to you, because I'll give them props. And you'll get mad at me.
Before you start, dude, they're gonna get stomped by Georgia. Are you kidding? Like, did you see the look? The
Steve,
one
don't
thing,
make us sound
the
like
one thing
Steve,
I will
don't
say,
do this. Don't do this.
The
I don't want to sound like them.
And I love this about the SEC too.
Brian, I did it just now.
The SEC will cut their own team's throats in order to get a big-time matchup.
Oh, my goodness.
They cut Missouri's throat
I'm sorry,
on
people.
Saturday because Missouri won that football game. You get a phantom flag.
Oh, people,
give
I'm
them
sorry.
another shot. They scored. Now you got the big two. Because now, I mean, you realize the SEC is now dominating Saturday. Saturday college football now
Elaborate,
completely
Steve.
This Saturday revolves around Kentucky, Georgia at 3:30. LSU, Bama. You got the East and the West, and they're gonna build it up like the East is in contention. When in reality, Georgia just beat the crap out of them. You're like, oh well. I mean, Georgia. I know you told me to watch it, but dude, Georgia. It's been bet down to 9.5. Throw every amount of money
on Georgia
you have right now at Georgia for 9.5
before it's too late.
Before it's too late. And
because listen, when the Sharks get back in, listen, right at game time, the Sharks are gonna put.
Oh my God!
The Sharks are gonna put $30 million apiece on Georgia.
If you don't gamble, get a login right now. Go and bet the house. Bet everything you own on Georgia at 9.5.
Georgia minus
right
9.5. All day.
Oh my gosh, that's the easiest bet of the
year.
Go
get payday loans,
and then everybody give 10% of what you earn.
Stop giving bad advice,
and I'll be a bookie.
Steve, you know good and well in a one-game scenario, anything can happen.
Dude, that Kentucky
at
team, they were dang near. My father-in-law was telling me that they were talking about going and meeting the team when the team plane landed. I'm like. Yeah.
They crowd surfed.
Missouri wasn't even ranked.
It
took everything you had in your power and a bullcrap call to beat an unranked Missouri team.
The coach crowd surfed.
Oh, gosh.
Steve, the coach crowd surfed in the locker room.
I know. I'm like, Missouri.
You know what? Maybe that's our problem. We don't celebrate a win over Western Kentucky like we should.
Georgia.
People put it this way. You know what I had going into this show?
Golly.
Look at that underlined sentence. I know I got that.
Fan Appreciation Day.
Fan Appreciation Day.
I love it.
Like I came to the show with a thank you message prepared for our fans.
Yeah.
This conversation and thinking about Stoops crowd surfing a win over an unranked Missouri team, right? That makes me almost want to take away my fan appreciation and say we need to be more like that.
I know, yeah, maybe so. Hey, look,
right?
Do what you do.
No, and listen,
I need to enjoy wins more.
It took me right back to beating a team with Lamar Jackson.
I know,
and people acting like we lost.
Yeah,
like. When Jalen Smith catches the pass to beat Virginia, that we lost that game.
Yeah, no,
we lost that game. Louisville, another unimpressive, ugly.
Well, and I'll tell you,
we should have been crowd surfing like them.
I was with my buddy Clay watching that game.
You and me crowd surf.
Yeah,
and we're wondering why everybody else is.
No, but even me for a second, I was like, yeah, they caught it, baby. And then it took about 5 minutes, and we were like, we suck. How many losses do we have? 1 to Clemson. We're not very good anymore.
Right. I mean, I just don't really see it.
How in the crap?
We're number 5. You know what the argument is? we suck. That's why we're not going to be in the Final Four. They're whatever they are, and the argument is New Year's Six Bowl or bust. You know.
I know, and I'm like,
you remember this? And we'll go back to yours, Steve. Michigan in the New Year's Six Bowl was the biggest failure in football history.
Yeah.
If we would have got that.
Oh, I know.
Right?
I know.
That was going to be the worst case scenario in history.
I'll never forget doing that pregame show, and I'm like, y'all better look. I don't do the lecture fan thing, but I'm like, y'all better appreciate the Orange Bowl more than you are, because if you go out here and Kentucky does beat you today, you're gonna really wish you were in the Orange Bowl. And then all of a sudden, you know, that night we're all going, oh man, hey, we're making deals with the devil to get it. Hey, what can we do, man? Come out ahead of Florida State in the rankings tomorrow so we can get in the Orange Bowl.
We energied that into existence. We energied that into existence by complaining about not making it.
But Kentucky also had to, and this is how I explained it to somebody this weekend.
Man, we ran totally off track.
Well, no, Kentucky had to win this game. Because if Kentucky loses that game, that puts them at 3 losses at the end of the year, or 4, because Tennessee may get them. But because Kentucky needs to have those wins, they're going to get beat by Georgia, because Kentucky is destined to play in the Peach Bowl. Because I've told you once, if I've told you once, I'm telling you twice. The Peach Bowl is played at the exact same time as the Louisville-Kentucky basketball game. And it's
wait a minute. You slow down and you explain to people your premonition.
And it is destiny that Kentucky were to make a New Year's Six Bowl, play it in the middle of the Louisville-Kentucky game when Chris Mack goes out there and tags that head in his first year.
I like where you're going with this, Steve.
Because can you imagine trying to
listen to my man Steve Rummage, people. Right now, he is trying to drop some serious science on you. If you don't listen, you'll regret it later, and you'll. Well, didn't I hear somebody say this one time? And something feels weird about this. It's kind of deja vu thing. I'm listening, Steve.
So as hard as it was to watch that happen Saturday, you had to sit back and go, that had to happen.
True to form.
Yeah.
The master plan is unfolding exactly as it should.
Yeah. So it had to happen. So it's okay. It's okay.
Go ahead and be playing.
Go and get in that Peach Bowl.
So that wasn't. I wasn't going to transition to Chris Mack on that conversation. We'll clean up the football conversation.
Okay, well, yeah, let's clean up the football. It's Monday. Louisville played a game. I still think we should make a coaching change. Jeff Brom, I thought they looked good against Michigan State.
See, here's the thing, Steve.
Rinse and repeat.
Here's the thing, Steve. Okay. This is what sickens me.
Mm-hmm.
People here, when you say rinse and repeat, you know how you have a good show? In the state of Kentucky, if you want to have a good radio show in the state of Kentucky, speaking of rinse and repeat, what do? What do you talk about? You know what you talk about? How bad Louisville is and how gritty and tough and focused Kentucky is.
Yeah.
And how Chris Mack barely beat a Division II team, right? And Kentucky's last win over.
I mean, if you call being up, I mean, like, let's not rewrite history. He was up pretty much double digits the whole game.
Right. Yeah, but what I'm saying is if you want to succeed overall, according to the rinse and repeat cycle, this is what you do. You make fun about how bad you at Wake Forest is and how bad your loss is, and then people call in and say, oh, it was just the worst thing. And then you say, oh, it is. Have I seen this bad of football since? And then you get everybody going down memory lane to talk about the worst football you ever seen.
Yeah. Which that would work. It's pretty bad.
That would work. No. If I just wanted to have a call in, if I wanted to get, listener engagement, fan engagement, if I needed that from you, that's what I would do, people. How bad is this team? Insert, or how bad was the defense? Insert this. Or I didn't like how Bobby Petrino, kind of talked about the defense again. Like something, I can point out something like that. Again, rinse and repeat, and your phone lines are blowing up.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah, that's
No,
fair.
although that defense was horrible.
They were awful.
They
were awful. Yeah,
that was bad, man.
It was one of.
That was the worst.
It was the worst.
That was the worst.
Yeah, it was the worst. I don't really know what else to say.
That was literally the worst defensive effort I've ever seen in my life, and I hate saying defensive effort because we all want to put it right on Bobby's lap.
Well, because it is. Because it is. Because I've watched.
There's something psychologically that you're doing. Like you put a defensive curse on your own team.
Yes. I mean, it was so bad.
You put voodoo on the defense.
Saturday against Clemson is legitimately going to be like, we're past the stage now where it's you care. It's going to kind of be like, haha, let's all get together and laugh.
That's kind of why I almost went fan appreciation.
Yeah.
Because, again, contrary to popular belief, there's still fan engagement big time, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Like people have managed to keep a decency. Like there aren't really like super angry, outraged, mean, anti-Bobby sentiment. You know?
Yeah.
I would say I'm almost proud of the fans for not being mean. You know? But like I said, you get your sprinkles in social media who just say stupid things. You know what I'm saying? That don't respect the job and don't respect the players and that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of times those come from those accounts that, you know, are secret, you know, whatever accounts.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's kind of a laugh like, this is bad. You know, this is a bad situation and it has to get fixed.
Well, yeah, but the only way to fix it, I think we're coming to the point is, I think even the most loyal defender, I think after Saturday, even you lost them, where it was like, and then you're flipping over and it doesn't help. Look, let's not ignore it. It doesn't help. Purdue had a good showing against probably the best defense in the Big Ten.
Boy, and I will say this publicly. Normally, Steve, I'm only confiding in you to say this, and I know we got a Brom household, and there's Broms that are listening right now.
Yeah,
right?
No, they are.
And I'm gonna say something to y'all, and listen, I'm gonna say this, and when we're at Ruby's or we're at Review sitting down, I want you to come up and give me a hug. Because you know how I mean this. I mean this with as much love as I can muster from the depths of my soul. I was so happy
that they lost. That game could not have went more perfect.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Think about that. I can love you as a family and love you as a coach and love you as a person and we can share history and Louisville, like we're in the same fraternity as the Broms. Like we all have the same goals in life.
Yes. And
for me to say, I couldn't have been happier when I saw that Michigan State running back reverse field.
Yeah.
Like I know how much it hurt you.
I know.
Brom, I know that killed you.
But you were going to lose anyways. Look, I mean, let's be fair.
Oh. When they reversed that field and scored that long running touchdown, I was like, let's go, Sparty!
I know.
Right?
Go ahead and make it 10.
And
go ahead and make it 10.
Make it 10.
What's the big deal? 3 or 10.
Make it 10, because here's the thing.
You've proved yourself.
Yeah. And if it happens, it happens. But here's the thing. There's two problems. I want you to get your money, but I don't want the price to go up that high.
I know.
And the other problem is I don't need this kind of pressure on Vince. Right? Like here's the thing. If he goes out and wins the Big Ten or something, right, then Vince is going to have to be the damn rainmaker. Like he's actually literally going to have to he's going to have to pull off a mega deal. Well, he's going to have to be the Jerry Jones of college football to make this Brom deal happen, right?
Well, he can get Brom. I think it's just you're going to have to find the money.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. And listen, I don't need that in Vince's life right now.
Which I think Purdue eliminated with that loss. I think they are out. I don't think they can make the Big Ten championship.
Right. You know, yeah. But you get my point. Like, I didn't need that in Vince's life to have to negotiate with the hands down hottest coach on the planet. And here's the thing. the Louisville conversation, the Jeff Brom conversation, right? I'm telling you right now, there was an article from our beloved Pat Forty.
Mm-hmm.
He has the pulse of what works in national media stories, interest-wise, right? So here's the thing. If it was a natural fit of Jeff Brom going back to Louisville, I told you 3 years ago, Steve, you backed me up on this.
Yeah.
The reason we're watching these L's downs things, right, is because Louisville has always been the thorn in the side of major Division I college sports. Mm-hmm. From the days of Scooter McCrae and Darrell Griffith, right, between Houston, Louisville, and a couple of those quote-unquote mid-majors that are becoming powerhouses, they always get cut. They always get something conspires to eliminate the up-and-coming sports franchises, because you know why? It's the same thing the Adidas deal did. It levels the playing field, right? Bobby Petrino, Lamar Jackson's rankings and Jair's, it levels the playing field. Adidas $120 million deals, it levels the playing field. You turn into an entity, right? This is where I'm going with this, Steve. When the word gets out that the hottest coach in all of college, right?
Yeah.
May be considering going to the University of Louisville.
Yeah.
What that is after you saw what Purdue was out here doing, and I'm not talking about this fan base, but I'm talking about every other fan base.
Yeah.
The nightmare of all nightmares is if you have a couple of Georgia, Florida super athletes and a hotbed of local recruits in Louisville, and you let one of these Jeff Brom up-and-comers get hold of some athletes and start working some system, right? And you start knocking off some traditional powerhouses, right?
Yeah.
That's a nightmare to all of college sports.
Yeah.
Every single time. It never fails, right? You get a Pat 40 to put it out there that this is going to happen, people.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all better watch out. Louisville's getting ready to become a powerhouse if they get Jeff Brom back here, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know what you start getting? Investigators going through all the phone records to see if there's any backdoor communication to say, oh, well, Louisville contacted, Jeff Brom's third cousin's best friend, and they're tampering.
Yeah.
You're going to start getting those they're going to check his house and see who's paying for it back in Louisville. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what happens. You start investigating that because, you know what? Because you want to destroy that before it has a chance to grow into something. I'm telling you, I've seen it a million times. That is a match that you can't let happen if you're anywhere outside of Louisville. Purdue is going to get worked up in a frenzy once the media really attaches to this story. The Colburn thing.
Did you know Louisville pulled his scholarship?
If I didn't know Louisville pulled this scholarship the last 2 years where he scored touchdowns and had big games, ESPN damn sure made sure to let everybody on the planet know.
And they asked him to grade. Let me just real quick. ESPN changed that narrative a little bit over the weekend. They were I'm out on Bobby anyway, but so I'm not taking up for him. But they were like, Louisville pulled his scholarship and left him with nothing.
48 hours. No
home.
48 hours.
They asked him to gray shirt. He had a spot on the team.
You didn't take his scholarship.
You had to wait a semester.
He wasn't gonna go have to live on a street corner.
I know.
Or make it out the hood or get the scholarship, right?
Yeah.
This wasn't Ricky from Boys in the Hood where the scholarship was I got to take care of my newborn.
I know that was getting annoying.
That's what they turned it into.
He had no school. He was left with no home, no school.
He
wasn't. He had one semester.
There are 100 kids on a football team, and I'm telling you, there's a story between every school and every kid on that school. Hey, when we're getting ready to play Alabama, do you remember how the narrative of Jawan Pass turned into, Jawan Pass going to Nick Saban and saying, well, what have you done to develop any of your quarterbacks? Did you order the code red? Did you order the code? That's what it turned into, Steve, right?
Yeah, that's a fact.
There's always a story between a recruit, a player, and a university every single time. It never makes it. We gave up 56 points. It wasn't Colburn. It was everybody. Right?
Right.
Was there any? I mean,
does he have a little extra motivation? He probably does.
Of course he does. I almost went to Louisville. They asked me the gray shirt. I took a better option to play immediately. Colburn's not better than any. See, and that's the other thing. Colburn's not better than 8 running backs we recruited.
I know.
Our defense is that bad.
Yeah, no, it is.
My point being, all this started with me giving the warning, me giving the premonition, me letting you plan for the future, that when the story gets into off season, media salivates to block something like this from happening, from finding an angle. Like, why do you think there's so much detail put into why Louisville can't make this happen?
Right.
Like, instead of just saying, this is a match. Think about this. A coach with family ties to a university and retired numbers, that is a match made in heaven for a media feel-good story. Frost for Nebraska.
Yeah.
If you watch college football game days and ESPNs and everything, when Frost, former quarterback of Nebraska Cornhuskers, becomes the hot coach and gets his chance to go back to Nebraska, right? It was the most done deal of all done deals in the history of done deals.
Well, they pretty much won. His team was undefeated. You remember on the field, they were like, so Nebraska.
On the field.
Yeah.
The field, right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if there was you know what narrative we get? The 14 million. What narrative we get? How they're telling us how many hurdles are in front of a coach who said, I don't even want to listen to most people.
Okay, but let me ask you this real quick, and I don't want to interrupt your point.
No, the point is done.
But what? I'm done.
But it's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, know this.
But Vince, I was talking to a couple people at church yesterday, and we were talking about this, and I said, to me, there's no benefit to letting Bobby go before the end of the year. If nothing else, I think to keep the pressure off of Brom. Because if you let Bobby go this week,
yes,
everybody up there, everybody around the country is going to go, oh, I know what's happening here. All his players are going to be looking at him in the locker room going, oh, wait, hang on now. Why did they? Like, they're not stupid. These recruits, these local recruits. J.J. Weaver's on visit this weekend talking about he loved it.
I know he did.
He said he loved it. One of the worst crowds of all time. He's not stupid. Like, these people here, they know what's going on. And if you let him go, I think now Jeff Brom. So I'm asking you, do you agree with that sentiment that's why? So when somebody asks me, I think they need to just go ahead and make it happen and get him out of here. I don't agree with that at all.
And your season tickets are sold. Your concessions is not what sells football. Your attendance for North Carolina State or Syracuse at home, is inconsequential.
The Kentucky game will still be a good.
It's getting sold no matter what.
I think I do think that, especially for Louisville fans this year.
You'll sell out for Kentucky fans.
Well, but Louisville fans even this year, this is one of those, and you hate to be this team because usually this is Kentucky,
right?
Who cares? Let's go in there and make some noise. And, man, if we beat them, hey, it ain't going to save the coach's job. But, man, if we beat y'all, we're going to be like, man, on our way. Oh, man, we had 2 wins and y'all couldn't beat us.
Right.
Like, I mean, you know, we're going to go to that game and have a good time. And if they beat us, you go.
So you get my point.
Not
It's
bad.
inconsequential what happens for the rest of the season.
Sure.
Thus, you don't fire anybody. Why put the attention on it? Why put the coaching search on it? Why put the media on it? Why get the media following your passenger and your passenger manifests?
Yeah.
Leaving out of SDF.
Yeah.
You know, like, why would you even do that?
Yeah.
It's absolutely no purpose to it.
I know.
So yeah, like what you're saying is 100%. And Texter, you're right. Like, that's why I still go kind of fan appreciation moment for this. Because here's the thing. I'm at the Galt House.
Mm-hmm.
Every view is awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out. We're at Al J's, right? And I got to tell you, man, there was so much Cardinal gear, right?
Oh, man. God, I hated missing.
There was so much Cardinal gear.
Yeah.
But here's the part where you got to appreciate this, Steve, and it would have made you sick to your stomach. Every Kentucky fan that you're near is like, oh, I can't believe these people are still wearing all this Louisville stuff. I'd never wear my Louisville stuff out here.
Well, you probably don't have Louisville stuff, I would hope.
No. My point is, they're outraged that Louisville fans would dare still be wearing their Louisville gear.
I know.
And I heard it over and over again, right? Almost to where it was, I got proud, Steve, because it was frustrated rivals that are wondering, how can you still wear all this Louisville stuff with pride?
Right.
How about that?
Yeah.
So it almost, you know what? It snapped me out of my jackass attitude for a second.
Sure.
Right? Like the moment I was like, yeah, I mean, that was just the worst. That was, you know, I heard the one guy say, hey, this guy back there, he's wearing all Louisville clothes. I'm like, well, what are you doing with that on?
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, okay, that sucked, right? But then when I heard it again, I heard it like the third or fourth time, it was like, yeah, thanks, y'all.
Yeah.
And not to mention, y'all were on your way to the game.
Yeah.
Right. You're on your way to the game. You're on your way to see your Bellarmine, Louisville, your new MAC franchise. Yeah. Like, by the time I was headed from the pregame show to the game, I was like, I want to get on this radio and just say thank you for those 4 moments. Quick commercial break. Midday with Marcus Maben. 8150 93.9 is the number on 93.9 The Ville.
Matt here, head brewer and owner at Great Flood Brewing Company. The way we make our beer is important because of the people who drink it. Brewed for those who share a connection to the community, we use the finest ingredients and best practices to honor our history and build upon it. Louisville made, brewer owned. Find Great Flood 6-packs at your local retailers throughout the city. Learn more and follow our journey at greatfloodbrewing.com.
Want to be part of the show? Hit us up on the Fan Outfitters Twitter feed at 93.9 The Ville.
The race for Senate is close, and it comes down to this. Do you believe you have a fundamental right to self-defense? The Supreme Court is closely divided. 4 liberal justices oppose your gun rights. 4 liberal justices would take away your freedom. And Senator Joe Donnelly is on their side. Donnelly voted against your gun rights by voting against Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Senator Donnelly knows Brett Kavanaugh has a perfect record defending your individual gun rights. And Joe Donnelly voted against him anyway. That's why Senator Donnelly earned a grade of D from the National Rifle Association. After 12 years in Washington, DC Joe has gotta go. Defend freedom. Defeat Donnelly. NRA Political Victory Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising. Paid for by NRA Political Victory Fund. www.nrapvf.org. And not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Are you ready to sell your home? Well, there couldn't be a better time. Houses are going for top dollar and selling quickly. You need to call Jill Blessinger with Keller Williams. She has a team of professionals that will help you sell your home quickly and get the most for it. She is a professional home stager and photographer. And when you're ready to buy, she works with Becky Bleemel of Caliber Home Loans. She makes the loan process very simple. And if you mention you heard this on Middays with Marcus Maben or ESPN, your appraisal is absolutely free. So give Jill a call today at 502-773-0546. That's 502-773-0546. And let her help you today.
So, Steve, what do you think about Bill at Scorns & Sons Collision Centers, man?
Let me just say, I had a friend who totally ruined his car. They got him taken care of quick, efficiently, and out the door.
Family owned and operated for over 70 years, Ed Scorns is the leader in auto repair technology and technician training. Do not let just anyone repair your vehicle. It's your choice. Tell your insurance company you're taking your vehicle to Bill at Scorns & Sons Collision Centers. There are 2 locations, Bardstown Road and Shelbyville Road in Middletown. Or call us at 491-BODY or visit us at etscorns.com. That's ETSCORNS.com.
If your heating and cooling system is old, inefficient, and on the fritz, believe it or not, you could be in luck. Now is the perfect time to replace and upgrade your system with your local factory-authorized Bryant dealer, BJ Heating and Cooling. BJ Heating and Cooling is offering 0% financing with approved credit on all Bryant equipment installs, whatever it takes. BJ Heating and Cooling offers free estimates on installing heat pumps, furnaces, ACs, and mini splits. Call the experts you can trust at BJ Heating and Cooling or visit bjheatcool.com today.
I'm Brandon Lang, and many of you know me from the movie Two for the Money, with Academy Award-winning actor Matthew McConaughey playing me. Man, do I wish I had his head of hair, but unfortunately, I don't. And the bad news is, as I've gotten older, going bald is something I couldn't control. But wait, with bad news comes good news. Parsley Waldman Hair Center of Louisville made me young again with the greatest hair transplant surgery in America and more affordable than you can imagine. From the moment I walked in the door at Parsley Waldman in the morning until the time I left that night, Dr. Waldman made me feel comfortable as if I was sitting at home watching TV. Waldman's staff was fantastic, and Dr. Waldman was with me every step of the way. I never thought getting hair again would be so easy. Go to hairsurgery.com and find out how you can be young again. That's hairsurgery.com. It will be the best decision you ever made.
What good is it having that beautiful view on your front and backyard if you can't see through your old grimy windows? Or how about when you let a little fresh air and your windows are constantly getting stuck? If this sounds like your current situation, it's time to make that call to Windows Plus. They have the best free lifetime transferable warranty, the best installation in town, quality products, doors, windows, siding, and gutters. They've also been voted the most efficient for 2018 and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating and all 5-star reviews, which means these are exactly the new windows you've been looking for. So go visit them at 11501 Plantside Drive, Louisville, Kentucky, or 502-494-0120. That's Windows Plus. Make the call.
Chances are you recently talked about it, or thought about it, or might even be thinking about it right now. You're thinking it's time to upgrade your vehicle, and boy do we have the place for you. Globe Auto Sales. Family owned and operated, serving the greater Kentuckiana area since 1972. Why Globe Auto Sales? Well, the answer is simple. The staff at Globe Auto Sales focuses entirely on the quality buying experience, not the high-pressured sales pitch you get at other places. So while you're thinking about it, stop by Globe Auto Sales located at 5705 Bardstown Road. Check out their inventory at Globe Autos online. Oh, and be sure to tell them you're a friend of 93.9 The Ville.
Have you been in a car wreck? Insurance companies can be really tough to deal with on your own. I'm Sam Aguiar, and our team is here to help. We have been fortunate enough to represent thousands of people from Kentucky communities, and we would love to speak with you about your potential case. Our team loves what we do. The consultation for you is free, and we don't charge you anything unless we win the case for you. So come be a part of our team. Our phone number is easy, 502-888-8888. 502-888-8888.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
This guy trying to tell me how to say Simmons College. I'm like, I get it.
With Marcus Maben. Broadcast.
You know Jerry Hughes coaches there.
OPC Pest
Yeah, I know.
Studio on 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage.
You better not be shoving a donut in your mouth when we're coming back from air. I know good and well.
It's pumpkin spice.
I know you better
Everything
not
nice.
be shoving that cruller in your mouth when we're coming back from.
It's pumpkin spice. To be fair, Drew brought them.
Welcome back. Welcome
I
back.
lost like 25 pounds.
Midday with Marcus Maben has absolutely nothing. You two are the worst. You two, you can't answer the phone now because you have a cruller stuffed in your mouth. Steve can't be a proper co-host because he's wiping crumbs from his cruller off his lap. I can't believe the two.
It's pumpkin.
Mine's blueberry.
Midday with Marcus Maben.
Told you, I'm a basic white girl.
8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. 3831 93.9 is the text line. And Bill at Scorns and Sons Collision Center has brought us Lawrence. Thanks for joining us on 93.9, my man. Fire away.
What's up, guys?
Chilling.
At this point, I'm done with football. I want to talk about basketball from now on. What I saw yesterday, Marcus, is this Louisville team going to be in a lot of games.
Why are you done with football already?
They lost 66 to 35. Defense can't stop nobody. Plus, you're going to find them throwing 112 points against that Louisville defense.
Let me ask you this, Lawrence. How much of that was Bobby Petrino's fault?
You picked the defensive coordinator. You picked the defensive line coach, the linebackers, and defensive back coach. That's all your fault.
He's right.
Now, on the basketball team, this basketball team going to be in a lot of games. But the thing that's going to hurt this team is I still don't see no alpha dogs who willing to take over the game when the game gets tight or when Louisville down by 4 to 5 points. That's going to really hurt this team.
What about when it was a 1-point game and Stephen Enoch busts 2 big 3-pointers and then Jordan Warren hits a big 3-pointer? You don't think that's alpha dog play?
Are they going to do it every single game this season, Marcus? How many times you actually going to have to? How many times you actually going to see Enoch knock down 3-pointers like that? And how many wide open 3-pointers did Jordan had just late? He just playing off the rim. So I'm looking for guys who's going to go in the paint after finish at the rim.
So you think Jordan's overrated now?
No, I don't think he's overrated. I just want to see him be that type of person where I don't care what defense you put up against me, you are not going to stop me from scoring no matter what. I want those type of guys to take over the games. I want B.J. King getting that lane and slamming on every single team he played against this year. I don't want to see no Golden State Warriors have 3-point teams shooting, chucking up a lot of 3-pointers. I actually want to see guys get in the lane and try to dominate.
But the Warriors are the best team in the NBA. Why don't you want to see that?
Thank you, Texter, on the Eaton backup. Sorry.
Because that's NBA ball. In NBA, you're better shooters you are in college. In college ball, the way I see it in college ball is you got to have a good free throw shooting team, good defense, and guys who actually can finish in the lane. Because in college, how good shooters are guys really, Marcus?
Well, that remains to be seen, Lawrence. I appreciate the call, my man. Steve, I tried. I tried to bait him. I tried to backtrack him into the football conversation. He was out. The consensus of sports talk radio is it doesn't matter if a kicker misses a kick. Bobby recruited him.
Well, at this point, I actually don't disagree with what Lawrence said.
Right. There is no,
because when you're on your 3rd defensive coordinator in 3 years and the defense still looks bad, then I'm sorry, even if it's not.
Right.
I mean, if I'm a boss and I make 3 bad hires, I'm going to be in trouble.
What about 3rd and Grantham over there?
Hey, dude. Georgia, look. I told you Georgia's going to win that game big. I mean, Grantham's not bad. Like, I mean, like he was the best one. I mean, he was the best one. And so, yeah.
And we tossed him like it wasn't nothing.
Well, yeah, but even that goes back to the story is
he didn't get along with Bobby.
Him and Bobby didn't get along. And then I say, okay, well, you couldn't get along with the one good defensive coordinator we had.
But getting along has nothing to do with giving up 45 to Kentucky.
No. I'm with you there. I'm with you there 100%. But I could argue that one and say,
story like,
and I could say a little bit player centric there too. You was kind of. You just got blew out by. I mean that's
no. Don't turn it like I'm not even dragging anybody into this either or thing. Like,
but you had players on record saying that team got way too caught up in the rankings that year, and I think when they lost,
how could you not?
But the fans did too, because when we lost to
that's
Houston,
why nobody was happy with anything.
I remember talking to you before that game, and I was texting you, and I said, "Dude, the atmosphere here sucks." And the game hadn't even started, but it was just the wind was just. It was almost a relief when you lost to Houston.
It was blowout Houston or you suck.
I know.
Because we weren't. Listen, think about it.
Wore on us,
we
man.
knew a 7-point win over Houston. Here's the thing. In the third quarter, Steve, you knew you weren't going to blow out Houston. You were going to drop in the rating.
It didn't matter what you did.
Because
I do think if Lamar doesn't fumble there, which, again, hurt, but I think they would have beat Houston. You know the drive I'm talking about?
Of course I do.
Okay.
But here's the thing. If, again, backtrack to that, to fan experience. In the third quarter, you knew you weren't going to win by 30 points.
Yeah, it was over.
And you knew that you weren't going to be you weren't going to be in the rankings. Because you treated Houston like we got to blow them out or it's a loss.
Yes. No, you're right.
You treated the last 6 games like you got to blow them out or it's a loss. That was the Kentucky comparison that I was making earlier, just saying.
Hello. Oh, that's fine. Go ahead and read your text.
Hello.
Hey. I love Marcus's text, especially when he has his phone up. And we have the same ring. Look, I am Mr. I hate when somebody looks at somebody else's phone, but our phones, I want to make this clear, they sit right here, and when they ding, I immediately look down, and I feel like I have to almost every time. Like, I'm not.
Hey.
Yeah, I know. But appreciate that one.
Cody, thanks for joining us on 93.9, my man. Fire away.
What's up, guys? Do I have permission to fully transition into basketball season without getting
Listen, I tried to keep the random herd of sheep in the barn. It's too late. Fire away.
Yeah, man. I really, I saw a lot of good things Sunday that I the turnovers kind of bummed me out, but I mean, I think that it's just yips. I think that everybody's just getting used to a system, and I'm not really too concerned. I think we blew a lot of wide open shots, which, I mean, those shots are going to start falling, man. I think that a lot of people were just nervous playing for the first time.
Cody, I want you to finish your point. I don't want to cut you off totally here, but I will say, with what you're saying, you also remember what we said last week, and I think you would agree with me here. Some of those turnovers, like, let's credit Bellarmine. I think Davenport wanted that game.
Here's
yeah. Oh, sorry. No, I mean, I think they could have beaten a lot of D1 teams that day. I mean, they're really, really good. I mean, meanwhile, some of the big-time top 5 teams are playing like Saskatchewan Tech University and just blowing them out by 50. Now, Bellarmine's going to win about 30 games, and I guarantee you they could have beaten some D1 teams that day. I mean, they're really, really good, and they cut. They move the ball really well. I mean, that's just a tough team to guard. We need to get that out of our system just early, and I'm happy that we did. I'm happy that when it was getting kind of tough, nobody shook their heads. Nobody was like, man, this D2 team is beating us. No, they were like, we're going to get this win. We're playing a good team. So I'm not concerned. I think that the next game should be much better because now they got film to look at. But, I mean, I'm overall impressed. I love the way the pack line looked, too. I think the defense is going to be pretty good this season.
Listen, Cody, I appreciate the call. Listen, I know there was no holding that in, so let me go ahead and get these out the way. Alex, thanks for joining us on 93.9. We'll see you mine.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's
So
up,
normally I really enjoy Lawrence when he calls in because he gives me the perspective that I don't need to have. So wherever Lawrence stands on the fence, I want to make sure I'm on the other side, enjoying his rant. But man, come on, saying like all you want to see is dunks, and that's like that. I don't know, that just reminds me of just like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy seeing some people get crammed on, but you love that Golden State offense, Steph Curry throwing up threes all over the place. You love that. So and I guarantee you, when those shots start falling, nobody's going to be complaining. When those shots start falling and it's like in the middle of the game, they start chucking up threes and you yell out 3 and it's good, oh, that's going to feel great. But for the football team, man, yeah, I was one of those people, I'm not going to lie, I was holding on. I was really looking forward to just, seeing maybe Bobby could, possibly pull one out, but I'm not going to lie. I think I left that behind. I'm just going to keep up with it on the ESPN app, and then I'll just start following basketball because it's just.
So you're just on Steve Bell mode.
Yeah, because listen, I'm the type of fan that, like, I'll watch a game. I will watch a Louisville game, every single Louisville game from here on out, like Lamar Jackson is playing, and we have a chance to win. And whenever they make a mistake, I get upset.
Right.
I can't keep, just putting myself through that emotional trauma, because eventually I start laughing when they make mistakes, and that's when I know I've reached like full insanity mode, when I just start laughing at the mistakes that they make.
I'm so. You know what you're describing right now?
What am I describing?
You're describing what a phone call is like during a game with Steve Rummage. He's on the phone like, oh, look at this. I'm like, did we score? He like, no, they just scored a 74-yard touchdown.
Exactly. That's exactly how, like when the running back breaks and he's just going, and Louisville players, defensive players that could catch him, just slow down and start watching him. I'm like, perfect. Exactly. That's what I want to see. Good job, guys.
I know.
Like, it's crazy.
My wife was so, appreciate it, Alex. My wife was going crazy. My wife was so confused because yesterday I was like, that's how you play D. Henderson. That's who. She's like, who's Henderson? I'm like, Wake Forest guy. She's like, what are you talking about?
Are you fully insane?
Listen, I know we're going to be going to break here soon.
We waited purposely for the top of the hour because we are going to unleash hell on this conversation that is the basketball team.
Yeah, but I will say this. Most of you guys know I'm the adopted son of Dabo Sweeney currently, and I'm going to have to make a phone call this week. And I don't really know what to say. I'll just, hey, Dad. It's me. We got a game this weekend. And honestly, Dad, I don't really know what I want. I don't. Could you beat us? Maybe like not put up 100 because just to totally embarrass the program in general. Maybe keep it to 60. Keep it to 50. Maybe get your back some reps. Do you know Travis Etienne may win the Heisman off this game?
Yes, I
and you voted him as your Heisman winner
preseason.
In the meantime, I picked Jake Fromm. And we won't even talk about what's going on down in Georgia at times.
Right. So, leave the details of that story off this show, Steve.
Even though he did look good the other day. But yeah, so it's I don't know, man.
So there's
I'm not even mad. Do you know how bad this football season is? I'm not even mad at Clemson.
There's 2 points that I'm going to make about this Clemson situation. And then we're going to cut to a break, and I promise people we're going to have the shortest break that we can get away with.
I agree, Texter. Alex is a top 3 caller for me. I really enjoy Alex's calls.
So here's the thing.
That's probably Alex.
2 Clemsons.
Alex texted in after he calls.
Right. Boy, that Alex really knows his stuff.
Alex good, man. Yeah, he's good. Alex.
2 things. This Clemson game, I recognize as a moment of clarity in my life.
Yeah.
As this is the moment where I say, I am physically, my brain is wired as a competitive. The thing that makes athletes crazy is their tolerance for pain. Good to great athletes. They train to the point of pain. Like the famous Muhammad Ali story. He didn't start counting sit-ups until it was hurting.
Yeah.
Because those are the only ones that matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
The tolerance for pain, the threshold for pain, the pain in watching your sports teams lose. athlete-centric minds can go a little further than non-super athlete-centric minds. And this is not me. This is not me. Throwing in shade or anything. It's just this is the problem with me being wired the way I am. So don't get mad at me when I say you got to keep on. Like when Bobby Chandler says you got to keep grinding, you got to keep working, you got to stick to process, you got to keep working. You don't see results till you're a top 10 scorer at Louisville. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was 12 and it was hurting,
I know.
The results were way down the road, right?
Yeah.
So that's athlete brain wired. You can always win, but you just got to keep on figuring out a way. Maybe I hit a moment in my brain, not maybe, when I said, this simple statement was in my head. We don't have a chance to beat Clemson. Something that simple was almost life-changing.
Yeah.
I've never, ever, ever said that.
I know.
About me or a team I play on or a team I've never said, well, maybe we don't have a chance.
You cannot win this game Saturday. Yeah. Could you cover the spread? Maybe.
You know what
That's where you're at. And it's 38.
Listen, and I'm telling you people, I'm not saying this in any humor whatsoever.
It's 38 points.
I sat in the box of the University of Louisville, the media suite in Cardinal Stadium.
Hated to miss that too.
And the thought crossed my mind, and I can't tell you how serious I am about the pain it caused when this thought crossed my mind. Can we beat their third string? Can we beat Clemson's third string? And the fact, like, here's the thing. Sometimes on here I talk about cognitive dissonance, right? Like, I can't wrap my head around some ideas that, like, I almost pass out. You know what I'm saying? Like when Neo realized he was in the Matrix, right? My whole world is a computer-generated universe, right?
Yeah.
When he realized his whole world was not what he believed it was, he threw up. And they were like, y'all better do something because this dude's about to die, right? He's going to pop, right? It was like I got lightheaded. I just asked myself if Louisville could beat the third stringers.
I know.
And you know what? Before I made myself answer the question, I just kind of like shook my head like get that thought out of my head. Because if I'm forced to answer this.
Because I don't know.
That's the problem. I didn't even want to answer it with the I don't know. I just bailed. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I knew that I could punch myself and knock myself unconscious before I could figure out the answer to that question, I would have did it.
Yeah.
Because I don't need my brain to be in a world where that level of failure is there.
I know.
So, like having that moment was like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Is this where my brain is? Is this where we are? Are all these people in here aware, you know what I'm saying, that this thought is a rational thought? And you don't have an answer to that thought.
No. Because if you asked me that question, if you said second stringers, I would tell you no. You said third. And I say, I don't know, man.
And the other thing, Steve, to your point, when you said maybe he could take it easy, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if you thought the L's down and all these people who have been dying to get back at Louisville for L's down and all this stuff, Dabo is going to pour one out for the homies that didn't win the Heisman Trophy.
I know.
Dabo Sweeney, before the game, he is going to take his bottle of Hennessy. And
Dabo don't drink Hennessy.
And he's going to pour it out on the ground and say,
orange juice. He's
going to say, this one's for you, Deshaun.
Yeah, my dad don't drink.
And he's going to run up that score as not only am I going to kick you out of the league, I'm going to make sure you're never hired again. Like, I got so much built up pain. I'm going to just put my foot you get the point, people.
Andy knows, Dabo knows, everybody knows. It's probably going to be your last chance at him. And
That's
Jeff,
my point.
Jeff may be a different story.
Before this last year, everybody could evenly say something like, okay, if I said to you before this year or before last year, with those 3 previous Clemson games,
yep,
Bobby kind of got Dabo's number.
Yeah, in an odd way, without winning. Yeah, you still felt like
no. I mean, you knew,
man.
you knew the talent discrepancy was the reason Bobby didn't win the last 3 times before.
Yeah.
Before last year, you knew the talent discrepancy on the defensive line was the only reason. Bobby Petrino did not beat Clemson 3 years in a row.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a fact, people.
I agree with that.
So if think about that's how much a year and a half changes a narrative, and it's like when you do the Bobby 2.0 is one in however many. Don't forget you're cutting out all of his years before. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're separating. If I was to say, take the 2 years that I, sucked versus the 10 years I was great, you can change it. But what I'm saying is, last year, before last year's game, you would have said head to head, Bobby might be a better coach.
I would agree with that.
A better on the field football coach.
Yeah.
Year and a half later, you're getting run, and they're gonna stick it to you, boy. We're gonna come back. Like I said, we're gonna totally unleash. Quick commercial break, as quick as you can make it, Brian Hall. Midday with Marcus Maben, 8150. Caller, we're going to get right back to you. 8150-939 is the number on 939 The Ville.
Hey guys, fall is getting near, and there really is no better time to get out and enjoy a round of golf at Wooded View Golf Course and Driving Range in Clarksville. Minutes from downtown and just off I-65, Wooded View is not only convenient, but it's affordable. Plus additional savings with new midday and twilight specials. Schedule your tee time today at woodedviewgc.com. That's woodedviewgc.com.
Dad taught Greg how to use a torque wrench, how to change the oil, flush the radiator. He taught Greg that a good car is worth hanging on to, and that there's value in taking care of something special. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance takes care of cars too. That's why it's not just Kentucky's Farm Bureau, but it's Greg's taking after Dad Farm Bureau. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, big on commitment.
Chances are you've recently talked about it, or thought about it, or might even be thinking about it right now. You're thinking it's time to upgrade your vehicle, and boy do we have the place for you. Globe Auto Sales. Family owned and operated, serving the greater Kentuckiana area since 1972. Why Globe Auto Sales? Well, the answer is simple. The staff at Globe Auto Sales focuses entirely on the quality buying experience, not the high-pressured sales pitch you get at other places. So while you're thinking about it, stop by Globe Auto Sales located at 5705 Bardstown Road. Check out their inventory at Globe Autos online. Oh, and be sure to tell them you're a friend of 93.9 The Ville.
After getting a full workout this summer, your air conditioner may be on its last legs. So now it's time for you to save big on a Train comfort system at the DFH Company. This month, you can get 36-month special financing on qualified Train comfort systems from the DFH Company. It's hard to stop a train, and it's hard not to call DFH Company today. Call 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Visit dfhcompany.com for complete program details. It's hard to stop a train.
Get ready for 3 incredible days of savings at Genesis Diamonds. November 9th, 10th, and 11th. The biggest event of the year with store-wide savings up to 35% off. Rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, plus special financing up to 5 years. This is the big event of 2018. One where they break all the rules. Extra savings store-wide. Plus 12 top jewelry designers are flying in with their entire collections. On sale November 9th through 11th only. And only at Genesis Diamonds. Shelbyville Road Plaza. See store for details.
The best jewelry in the world at the best prices all year. It's happening November 9th, 10th, and 11th at Genesis Diamonds. 3 days of spectacular store-wide savings, and not just what's in the cases. 12 exclusive designers are flying in their entire collections, all on sale. We're talking thousands of unique, one-of-a-kind, stylish, handcrafted pieces at prices you never thought possible. Save 20, 30, up to 35% store-wide. Even GIA-certified diamonds are all on sale. November 9th, 10th, and 11th, only at Genesis Diamonds. Shelbyville Road Plaza. See store for details.
Are you ready to sell your home? Well, there couldn't be a better time. Houses are going for top dollar and selling quickly. You need to call Jill Blessinger with Keller Williams. She has a team of professionals that will help you sell your home quickly and get the most for it. She is a professional home stager and photographer. And when you're ready to buy, she works with Becky Bleemel of Caliber Home Loans. She makes the loan process very simple. And if you mention you heard this on Middays with Marcus Maben or ESPN, your appraisal is absolutely free. So give Jill a call today at 502-773-0546. That's 502-773-0546. And let her help you today.
Football's in full swing, and the only thing more popular is securing a great rate on your home loan. Whether it's a new home or refinancing your current investment, consider Century Mortgage, Kentuckiana's top mortgage lender and Kentucky's largest locally owned mortgage banking institution. At Century Mortgage Company, you're meeting with people who live here, work here, and are invested in this community. Let us, Century Mortgage, take care of funding your most important investment, your home. Visit CenturyMortgage.com to get started today. Century Mortgage Company is an equal housing lender. NMLS number 3925.
An official broadcast partner of the University of Louisville, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9 The Ville. Time now for an ESPN Louisville Sports Center update.
Good morning, I'm Brian Hall. This Sports Center update brought to you by BJ Heating and Cooling. Call the experts you can trust, bjheatcool.com. The Louisville football team suffered another defeat, this time at the hands of Wake Forest, 56-35. Juwan Pass was 30 for 54 with 358 yards passing and 1 touchdown to go along with his 9 rushes for 34 yards. Trey Smith led the running backs with 13 carries for 98 yards and 3 touchdowns, and Tutu Atwell paced the receivers with 8 catches for 132 yards. Coach Petrino said after the game he was surprised the defense didn't play better.
Yeah, it was surprising to me. I thought we were ready to go, and I thought our defense, with all the extra things we did in practice, that we would perform better, but we didn't get it done.
Up next is number 2 Clemson this Saturday at noon at Cardinal Stadium. In their first exhibition game, the Louisville basketball team pulled off a 71-60 win over Bellarmine, but the Cards only shot 6 of 25 from 3. And Coach Mack talks about that struggle.
I don't think that we're going to have many nights like that, but you give Bellarmine a lot of credit. I think we're a much better shooting team than we displayed, but our ability to sort of withstand our offensive struggles and still defend, I thought by and large was where it needed to be.
VJ King led the Cards in scoring with 17 points and 6 rebounds, while Stephen Enoch pitched in 14 points and 5 rebounds, and Kristen Cunningham and Jordan Wara each finished the game with 10 points. The Cards finish up the preseason with their last exhibition game on Saturday against Simmons College at 7 p.m. Former Louisville basketball coach Rick Pitino said he is planning to use the season to immerse himself in the NBA game and hopes to become a candidate for head coaching positions in the NBA next spring. And last but certainly not least, the Louisville men's soccer team suffered a tough 2-1 loss to number 1 Wake Forest in overtime over the weekend. Keep it locked here. Middays with Marcus Maben is next. This is SportsCenter.
Here's what you missed on The Drive with Mark Ennis.
Coach Mack, thanks for making time for us here on The Drive on 9th on the Ville. Welcome in.
Thanks for having me.
Knowing what you know about the roster that you're going to have for this season, what's action item number 1 for Chris Mack?
I think any team just has to have an identity, and we tried to really mark from the very beginning instill who we want to be on the floor. That is a tough, together team. You see our schedule. Things aren't always going to be smooth sailing. We're going to have to be a team that I think is better than the sum of our individual parts. And I think we can be, but we have to be first and foremost together. And we have to be a team that's able to be a little bit resilient in times that's going to call for it. That's something that's been doing it all summer. And I'm really proud of this group for how hard they've worked. And hopefully we have a memorable season.
The Drive, weekdays 3 to 6 on 93.9 The Ville. This is U of L Today with Mark Hebert.
You don't have to be a super genius to be a good problem solver. That's what a U of L researcher has found. An explanation after this.
Commonwealth Credit Union is now the preferred credit union partner of the University of Louisville, offering more financial services to the U of L community than ever before. Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently. Visit WeSeeUofLDifferently.com for more information.
Being able to solve complex problems doesn't necessarily require laser focus and a high IQ, according to U of L Learning and Performance Lab Director Marcy DeCaro.
It's not only the people who have the high intelligence, the high working memory that can do innovative, creative thoughts. So I think that's one important thing to remember, that we kind of have a diversity in the way we think. And so people with lower working memory can capitalize on that. They can capitalize on the fact that they can make associations often better.
DeCaro says the brain has 2 different tracks that compete with each other, and People who have lots of working memory and focus, but can set that aside when needed, are better problem solvers.
It has to do with letting go when you need to. And this is something that they've shown, historically speaking, like Einstein supposedly did this. Like, he would kind of work with a problem until he got stumped, and then he'd step away and play his violin for a while. Or Beethoven would, take long, vigorous walks, is what they say, so that he could kind of let the ideas come to him. Finding ways to unlock human potential. We are U of L.
This is Marcus Maven, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville from the OPC Services Studio.
You're listening to Middays with Marcus Maben, broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services Studio on 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage.
Welcome back. It's Midday with Marcus Maben. 8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. Steve, are you ready to go full throttle, hardcore, super get ready for the year basketball talk?
I think so, man. I'm getting there because I think with football, man, I think we know where it's at. Like, we know where we stand. We know what's coming. I don't think it's any secret at this point. I think we all know how this story ends, and officially we know that. I will say, though, before I move on from football, I do got to give a shout out, man.
I'm listening.
Pleasant Grove Dolphins.
Shout out.
Championship week, baby. Championship week.
Are you gonna change the diet and change the sleeping pattern to match up with what's game time? Start preparing him to teach him how to prepare for a game?
I have been a little bit.
Because you do know you don't prepare for the game the night before the game.
Yeah.
You prepare on Monday.
No, I have been a little bit already starting that. So, but it was an impressive win, man. They moving forward.
Ellis has been sitting through the break. Ellis, man, we appreciate it. Ellis, thanks for joining us on 93.9, my man. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the next football coach. I don't think that Brom is the answer. I think we should go for something higher. It's too much of a fairy tale ending. I mean, what is he even done?
Are you afraid of the fairy tale story?
It just ain't gonna. I don't like fairy tales. That ain't gonna work. He beat. What he did besides beat Ohio State? He lost to Michigan State the other day. I think we should go for something higher. I think we should throw a boatload of money at Tony Dungy. Bring Tony Dungy back, or either
back to what? Have you seen what Herman Edwards is doing out there? He's half senile. Man, Tony Dungy's out trying to save the world.
Exactly. He's a good mentor for kids and guys and stuff. He's a great coach, and Herman Edwards is not Tony Dungy. I think we should go get Tony Dungy, throw a boatload of money at him.
Man, I appreciate the call. I couldn't disagree more. I mean, like I said, between Tony Dungy's if you think coaches,
well, in the same breath, you say you don't like the fairy tale story, which I understand that. I really do understand that. Watch out. But the go get the older NFL coach that rarely works out just as much. I mean, so that would be my only.
You go get Tony Dungy when you're coming off a death penalty.
Yeah, my only comeback to that would be if you don't like the fairy tale, then I wouldn't go the other direction.
Nobody even know. Like, none of these young punks even know he's a football coach. They don't remember him with Peyton Manning.
Look, I'm not. The reason I'm just like, I almost just can't. I mean, like, I get it, and I know people want to have the coaching carousel conversation.
Yeah, because
there's just not one.
Here's the thing: you can't just say like think about this, and we're moving on. You can't just say it's a fairy tale story, and that's why I don't want it.
Sure,
you can't start. Like, my problem is you can't start the conversation. That's like saying this. I'm not gonna make any kind of similes. You can't start that conversation with, it's just too good of a story. That's why I don't want to do it. Rick Pitino going to the Lakers is just so good of a story that I don't want it to happen. No, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm here for the fairy tale story. If it doesn't work out, that's fine. But I don't want to do it because it's the fairy tale story. It's the smart decision. The youngest, hottest offensive coach who's from the school is a smart business decision. It's a smart marketing decision. It's a smart comfort decision. It gives you 3 years of losing when Tony Dungy, if he comes in and loses 1 year, you're going to be like, this dude doesn't care. He has millions. He don't get it. He can't recruit these young kids. He's too far removed from the game. How is not the fantasy story. How's it working out for Spider Y Banana? Spider 2 Y Banana. What is it that Coach Gruden says?
Yeah, it's something like that.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but it's not good.
The
and
point
everybody
is,
thought he was a surefire hit. I mean,
that thing is a disaster.
He got a massive contract. I don't know.
And that's exactly what you're saying. Throw the boatload at Tony Dungy.
Yeah.
And just hope it happens.
Let's move on. I want to talk basketball.
Basketball. Galt House Aljays. You better start coming to hang out with us. That is the gathering point. The reason I had the fan appreciation conversation ready to go, because it's like right now, you know what we're doing? We're plotting and scheming and concentrating on the return of Louisville basketball, and ground zero of the return of the Louisville basketball program takes place every pregame at Aljays in the Galt House. It was awesome. The conversation was great. They play us over the loudspeaker. It gets you ready for a game. With that being said, going into the game, Steve, you were worried because you know Coach Davenport. Not only were you worried because you know Coach Davenport, you were with me when we entered the Yum Center for the red and white scrimmage. And I'm telling you, people, I know this coach because I played for this coach. And the only time that I've ever been in big trouble is for leaving the hotel when I wasn't supposed to, because I thought everybody would sleep. And our security guard followed me. Thank God I went straight home to sleep in my own bed and I didn't go out or anything. But I got in trouble and I had to go to Breakfast Club 5 in the morning. And guess who had to be there giving me Breakfast Club? Coach Davenport.
Ooh, I bet that was fun.
I know Coach Davenport better than you. And I know a look of anger. I know a look of determination. I know a look of disappointment. And I looked up at Coach Davenport because he was in the gym for the red and white game. And he had this notebook pad. Like, think about it. He really loves me. Like, he loves me as a human being. And I'm telling you, he looked at me like he could have just punched me in the face because he knew at that moment I was a Louisville fan. He walked past me at the game, and I'm surprised he didn't punch me. I've never seen somebody who loves me want to punch me like that, except this one girl who actually did punch me like that. So you get the point. Davenport,
we've all been there,
had an intensity more than once. I got a way of bringing it out, people. Listen, Davenport's intensity left us leaving the red and white game like, watch out. Now, with that being said, if you can't get it out of your brain that there are players in Division II, this conversation is not for you. If you can't separate, you know, what you think a championship team is, or other than if you think to win a championship, you got to have Anthony Davis and Karl Anthony Towns, and you know what I'm saying? Like, if you think that that's just basketball where you got to have 7, 6, 10 guys who can just dunk on everybody, this conversation is not for you. If you like teams, if you like development, if you like discipline, if you like structure, if you like toughness, if you like basketball in its purest form, this conversation is for you. I went to watch Louisville Bellarmine, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
On both sides.
No, I agree.
Bellarmine has pretty much the best player in the GLVC, a All-American Division II player that can give you that work.
They're going to the Final Four.
Number one in the entire Division II is a problem. And if you don't know that, And it's definitely a problem for a first-year head coach anywhere. A team learning a system is going against a number. Again, South Carolina got busted by a regular Division II school. South Carolina, as you know, brought in some recruits as of late. That means they have a very representative team.
Sure. They're 2 years off of Final Four.
Right?
Yeah.
So, we saw the red and white game. It looked sketchy. You know, we're looking for some things. If you saw the improvement between the red and white game and this game, that's a starting point that you can go with. Steve, what did you think from the game from the crib?
Well, I'll say this. I was actually glad. I hate to miss. I hate that I had to miss, but it was nice being able to sit back at home and watch and kind of take that in.
Only every once in a while. For people who listen to Steve, it's not better to be at home watching the game.
No, but
you should be at the game.
And it wasn't even every once in a while. It was just kind of that first one, with it being Mac's first game, because I was able to pay attention a little more to him, pay attention to. Three things immediately jumped out to me.
I'm listening.
The first thing that immediately jumped out to me, I love the way this team attacks the glass. You can tell right off the bat, and I'm not saying Rick Pitino didn't emphasize rebounding, but I think Rick Pitino emphasized other things. Rebounding at times, it always felt like Louisville wasn't a great rebounding team. You can tell that that's one of Chris Mack's things, because this team went after every ball. How many times did you see two guys end up at one rebound? I saw it 5-6 times that I can just think of right off the top of my head.
But you know what you didn't see? You didn't see them fighting over
No,
it.
exactly. That's my point.
Last year we lost 10 rebounds a game.
Yeah.
Because Honest and Ray, or Honest and Dwayne, or Dwayne and Ray, or somebody was fighting over a rebound, or VJ and Ray, and it was just a clumsiness to the rebounding.
Yeah. I thought that, and
you heard that ball smack.
Yeah.
You know that ball smack, right? That you can just tell.
That's a good drop.
That you can just tell somebody's putting emphasis on letting people know this is my rebound.
Yeah.
You got a station ID, Brian?
Do we need?
We've already hit it, but
I need it right now.
You're just trying to need like a little break here or something?
Yeah, give me a station ID, please.
Yeah, you got it. 1 second.
An official broadcast partner of the University of Louisville, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9 The Ville.
Welcome back. It's Midday with Marcus Maben. 8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. We are live on YouTube channel. We are made for the Ville. Click subscribe. Know every time we're going on air from the pre-games, from the nighttime shows we like to do. So, Steve, the rebounding is what caught your attention first.
That was first. Like I said, there was three. The second thing, I'm going team-wise, was they're very active at the top of that defense. Now, the reason that's big for me is because when I hear so my mind.
Okay.
Virginia, what's the defense called that they play?
Pack line.
Pack line. Gosh. When I hear pack line, I feel like in my mind I see a team sinking back, just kind of almost 300, pull out your shields and guard the paint.
Yes.
But how active the guards were. I mean, you saw, and they were smart.
It was close out active.
When they would shoot, but even when they would shoot the gaps, I didn't see one guy shoot a gap where they didn't get the ball.
Here's the thing. Defense, Coach Mack says it during the post-game press conference. Or maybe it was the pregame, but point being, these are the nuggets that you have to get when you're going to watch Louisville basketball. He says, I don't emphasize deflections.
Yeah.
Like previous Louisville teams. I don't do the harassment like previous teams, right? What I do is as emphasized position, being in position. If you're in position to play good defense, the basketball finds its way to your hands in a steal situation.
Yeah.
You're right. These steals were like clean, crisp. I'm here in position. You'd be amazed at how the ball just finds the defense when you work hard off the basketball. When I tell you, I came in here, sales overlord Nathan Huber asked me what I think. I said I'll describe it like this. You are an expert in your field. Whatever you do, if you work at UPS, if you work at AutoZone, if you work, anywhere you work, you can recognize something in particular.
Yeah.
You can recognize in your world what guys are doing good and what guys are faking it.
Yes.
Right? Like the guy who moves the box a little bit slower, or before he moves the box, he always reaches down to mess with his shoe, or just does something to take those little breaks. And that guy, but here, if I was there, I'd just see that guy on the line all day, and I'll say that guy works hard.
Yeah.
And you would say, nah, he doesn't. He finds shortcuts everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, the way I described Louisville, that not many people can see, is they weren't taking shortcuts. Now, they got tired, but they got tired because they were so focused, because they were so game plan centric, and because Scott Davenport is an animal with his offense. You know what else? They took care of the of the basketball.
Yeah, they did.
You didn't see a bunch of dumb turnovers. You didn't see a bunch of mistakes. The defense you saw at a Bellarmine, that is the pack line. That is the specialty pack line. We protect the paint. So anybody who thought that were disappointed because Stephen Enoch didn't do what you wanted, you weren't looking at how well Bellarmine focused on keeping the ball out of the paint, on double teaming. That was a structured, awesome defensive game plan. They were disappointed in themselves, and I would agree with it, because they didn't hit their shots. They got nervous. Bellarmine did, right?
Yeah.
But here's what I'll say. Yes, they looked nervous, but during the game, looking at the way Coach Davenport was viewing his team, he was mad at his team because he thought there were plays that his team should have made. But in hindsight, he's going to go back and look at the tape and say, that's a better coach team than I thought.
Yeah, I would agree. Oh, well, and he did get mad at the ref one time, and he was right.
On that out of bounds? Ryan McMahon? Yeah, knocking him out. Yeah,
Ryan touched the ball, definitely. And that's a big moment in the game.
Listen, Bellarmine got their fair share of no calls, too.
Sure, but that one was
that
bad.
was big, yeah.
That was. But here's what I was going to say. It's funny you mentioned some of that, because the third thing I wrote down was Malik and Enoch. That was the third thing. I took three things. I said before this game, I said I want to take three things that I love watching this team. And my third thing was Malik and Enoch, because I absolutely love how they do it. I think Steve has become I think he's the truth. I'll put it that way. I love how he will. It's been a while since we've had a big man that can catch a ball on the post, can seal.
He's a threat to score.
He is.
Out of a post move.
And he's calm.
Yep.
He made a catch. I was talking before the show. One time, I mean, he sealed his man off. It was kind of a weird pass.
Yep.
He kind of fumbled it. He gathered himself. Very easy. Look, I'm huge. Gather myself, went up, scored the basket. I think that watching him, of course the threes are great. He can hit those. So that's good.
Free throws.
Yeah.
He has a soft free throw touch. He's going to be a 68 to 78% free throw shooter, which is huge.
But the thing I don't think anybody's talking about with the big man play is Malik looks like he may be turning into a little bit of
some minutes.
And we go 3-point. He looks like he may be turning into a little bit of a rim protector. And if he's doing that, that's a huge.
He's another center.
Yes, a real other center.
Listen, there's a reason that in the red and white game, the first thing, or one of the first things Coach Mack says is this dude's been playing me.
Yeah.
This dude, his tape was lying on him, right? His tape was lying on him. One of the first things I said to Coach Mack sitting in his office is, Coach, he's frustrated and he lost a little bit of his mojo.
Yeah.
Off of his lack of playing time last year.
Yeah.
But if you go look at the video of when he first came, now listen, maybe Coach Mack just said, yeah, rolled his eyes and kicked me out of his office, theoretically, right? But if you go back and look, Malik is a gamer attitude. Now that sucks for a coach because you want that gamer in practice every day, right? But once he gets his confidence in the games, and he's going to practice a lot harder and all those things. But you made the perfect reference by pointing out Malik Williams as somebody who's going after the. Listen, he's a freshman.
Yeah.
Malik Williams is a freshman, people. He's a freshman.
Yeah.
He got no playing time, no opportunities. He was in the doghouse from start to finish. That's a fact.
Right.
Okay. So we're just still going macro on what you saw. You saw defense was important. You saw defensive rebounding was paramount.
Yeah.
Like there was something about the defensive rebounding that said, dude, if I give up a rebound to somebody else, I probably won't play anymore.
Because the rebounding offensively wasn't bad, but it was significantly. I mean, I even tweeted it out yesterday. The defensive rebounding is really
Put it
good.
this way. Here's the thing. The defensive rebounding was so good that when they didn't get one, it was like, oh. It was a collective sigh. Like, I can't believe. And we're talking about the ball getting knocked out, tipped around, hitting everybody's hand, and then ending up in a Bellarmine's player hand. It was a shock.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Well, I was going to say, those were the three things that I thought were the biggest takeaways positive for me. There were a couple other just little mini things, and I'll let you touch on those. Dwayne Sutton is, again, his plus-minus has to be awesome.
Pre-game show, man, I said, all this talk, all this Jordan War, is he going to be the man? B.J. King, is he going to be the man? Stephen Enoch, Malik Williams, is Ryan McMahon going to fit into the situation?
Yeah.
Is Christian Cunningham? Where's Darius Perry? I said, you forget that the most effective player on this team the entire year last year was Dwayne Sutton.
And I think that's going to be the case again. Because when he was in the game, it was I don't want to say they were even better.
He got some touchy fouls.
Yeah.
Bad break. Coach kept playing him with 2 and 3 fouls too. That's different.
That was different. There was a couple guys played with 2 fouls. I mean, I could go down the list. I'm not going to do that today, but you could go down the list of things. I thought Coach hit it right on the head because let me say this: shooting is not really a worry for me.
Jordan War is going to hit his shot.
Yeah.
Jordan War is pressing because Jordan War is a good player, and Jordan War knows that the buzz is Jordan War is going to be the man. You can guarantee he's going to press for 2 or 3 games until he relaxes. And this is where, when you have an experienced coach, you can bring him in and say, Jordan, look at your feet. Every time you shoot this ball, you're already running down. You're that good that you're losing your basic fundamentals on your set shot. Jordan, when you shot the free throws, you were walking away because you expected the ball to continuously go in. You lost a little bit of your form because I know that feeling.
Sure.
When you're hot, you're shooting the ball and you know it's going in and you're jogging all the way back down the court already and it's not going in and you're shocked that it's not going in. Chris Mack is a basketball brain. It's going to take him nothing to say, dude, you're rushing that.
No, absolutely. But I think what I loved most about it, and this is kudos to Jordan. I mean, he still pulled 9 boards. He still was active on defense.
9 rebounds.
Jordan is he gained a lot of street cred, I think, with the Louisville fan base yesterday because he probably had his worst shooting night he will probably have all year.
Yep.
Or pretty close to it. And he still was making plays everywhere.
He was working hard on defense.
Yeah.
His footwork still leaves much to be desired. But I'm telling you, when you work hard, it starts to add up. Your defensive rebounds is what kept you in the game. It's what got you free throws. Dwayne Sutton, He realizes if he relaxes a little bit, his free throws go in. Dwayne Sutton gets his first free throws of the game or gets this and one, goes to the line, very next play, knocks down a three-pointer. That's how the game works. Chris Mack recognizes that. They're going to recognize that. And just on the offensive end, if we're just, like I said, still going macro, you do realize, like out of the last 6 years, out of like 4 of them, Chris Mack's coach teams are in the top 30 efficiency-wise.
Offensively.
Yeah, offensive efficiency.
Yeah.
So when you go back and you look at that, you think about what Enoch shot. He didn't miss much. You look at Dwayne Sutton, wide open three-pointers, right? They weren't they were like worked to the open man, open look. Darius forced 2. VJ may have forced 2. Christian Cunningham might have 1 force. There were 5 bad shots in the entire game. Malik Williams posts up mid-range 15-footer on the baseline. Looks at his man, stares his man down, hits that bucket. You know what you saw, people? Mike Pegues. That's what you see already paying off. You have a big man savant coach over there that you saw with your big men immediately. It's no secret when you had Ray Spalding and Jalen Johnson and Anis Mahmoud and whoever else. It's no and Anawaku, the guys who did their thing, they did their thing because they were just dogs, right? Rick did not stress big man play. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely.
I mean, Rick would admit that he doesn't stress big man play. You got 1 moving screen. Think about that, people.
Yeah.
The entire game.
And that was on Steve. That was on
and
Steve
that was a
Enoch.
bad call.
Yeah, he was rolling fast.
He was rolling out of his. But here's the thing. You saw firm screen. You saw Ryan McMahon and Steven Enoch run a pick and roll. And you ever see those plays where the guy almost dunks it, but you're like, you went over somebody.
I know.
Knowing they were going to jump. You were in there to dunk on somebody.
He was. See, and here's the thing. Steve Enoch went 4 for 4 from the field, 2 for 2 from the
I didn't even know that.
line. He went 4 of 6 from the free throw line.
I didn't know that.
Ended with 14 points, 5 rebounds.
I did not know that.
3 fouls.
But I know, you know what I did know? I know he didn't miss a lot. I don't remember a lot of misses, right?
Yeah.
I knew he only shot what he could hit. I knew the corner shot that Malik Williams shot. I know Jordan Wara, he forced 2, but Jordan really doesn't count as a 4 shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's that good.
Mm-hmm.
The only one Christian Cunningham shot, he had to.
Yeah.
That was funny. Texter says that Darius Perry missed laundry day. Let's just talk about him really quick, people. If there's an ISO cam available to you, if you can take your eyeballs to Darius Perry, do yourself a favor. Do everybody a favor. Do your kids a favor. No matter what your kid's skill level is, make them watch Darius Perry's attitude, right?
Yeah.
There's a scramble for a ball. Here's the thing. Darius Perry is now Debo Perry.
That's fair.
Darius Perry has put on these muscles, right? And he thinks he's 15 pounds bigger than what he is.
Yeah, and he's just angry.
He is angry.
Yeah.
There was a scuffle for the ball, and the way Darius Perry was like, how dare you try to fight me for the ball? And he grabs the ball, and he's like, Darius Perry has rolled up his pants, and he is playing in muscle man shorts.
It's just awesome.
It is awesome. Darius Perry is a angry little violent player, and I love him to death.
I know. I
don't do this. I almost got that clip. Here's what you should understand about me. I almost got the clip of that tussle where he snatched that basketball, and the referee came over to him like, just gave him a little like, hey man, like calm down, man. Like
I know.
I don't want you fighting. But it's not in a, you know, a goon way. Like he's a competitive spirit, right?
Yeah.
I almost clipped out that scene, and I almost tagged him in a post to say, you give me this and I give you a career. Right?
Yeah.
Like I give you a career. And guess what happened, Steve? About an hour after I had that thought, I didn't do it. I'm scrolling through Instagram. I see that play. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I see that play. I'm laughing. Oh man, one of the fans must have saw what I saw. It was Aiden Nagahan saying, I see you. Right? Aiden Nagahan.
That's funny.
Is somewhere right now complimenting a feisty Darius Perry because he recognized that grit.
I know. Well, and do you know who led the team in assist?
Don't tell me.
Okay.
Let me think about the game. Who led in assists?
And it was by far.
I don't know.
Darius.
I mean, I knew where you're kind of going with that, but I was thinking, it could have been Darius.
Yeah, he had 5 assists. Like, think about that. Darius kept a solid attitude. Now, this is Darius from last year. Okay, remember how Darius was last year?
You drop one of his passes, you're dead.
Darius had 4 points today, or yesterday. He went 1 of 5 from the field.
2 bad shots.
0 of 3 from the three-point line. He hit both of his free throws, which we told you he will do. He had 4 total points, 5 assists, 2 steals, and only 2 turnovers. And
against teams that don't turn the ball over.
And his attitude, I thought, was awesome.
You cannot get him off the court.
Yeah. I know. I thought it was but he pouted last
Break
year.
down VJ.
We'll see. We'll see. I thought, if anything, he finished around the basket better than what he's been doing. He led the game in scoring. I mean, you can't. I mean, I'm looking at VJ right now. 5 of 12. I think he's earned that. He hit 6 of 7 free throws, which is big. 17 points, 1 assist, 6 rebounds. I mean, pretty good game. I just don't know why, for whatever reason, VJ's.
He doesn't dunk that ball on a fast break. I'd send him to the bench.
You just feel it's weird. It's weird.
He doesn't dunk that ball on the fast break. You got to sit down for a minute.
Okay.
He gets the ball on a power dribble. He does the kind of the underwater, lays it up on the other side. If you can't exert yourself on a powerful jump, it's going to come back and haunt you every time.
I know we have to hit our segment here at the end real quick, but I do want to ask you, because we've talked a lot about what we liked. Give me a negative.
A negative?
Yeah.
If I wanted to come up with a negative, it would be you played all the way on Bellarmine's pace. You did not make Bellarmine uncomfortable. I mean, you got steals.
Could I argue they play the same pace?
Yes.
Which maybe had a little bit to do with it.
Listen, I didn't like the strength in the finishing. I bet on the strength of finishing when they put in, when you go get a weight room coach, you want people to want contact at this point. VJ had 2 opportunities to dunk it. Stephen Enoch had, on your power dribble play, you have to go up with the intentions of dunking it, and if it's not there, then you lay it up.
Caveat, though, I warned you. Being a finesse big man like myself, I warned you. I've watched Steve play. He's not dunker guy.
No, I know that.
Yeah,
I know that. But what I'm saying is, when you're around the basket like that, the original intention has to be go up strong and aggressive, because that's the only way you're going to get fouled.
But if you're going 4-4, we'll pass on it.
That's a fact.
As opposed to.
That's a fact. But but it's like, to me, being guy who says mentality is going to catch up with you in the long run.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
You can be finesse guy all you want, but you're going to go against a Florida State that has some dude that's big and funny, just like you. you know, and I'm saying big and funny, like, you know, either finesse guy or something like that. And what I'm saying is, you shoot free throws too good to stay being finesse guy. Your body is amazing. You know what I'm saying? To put it to use, to send a message, to be a emphasis, to change, to take Louisville to the next program or to the next level, you have to be a guy that your intensity gets you on the line.
Man, you couldn't ask. I swear we're done after this. I'll go to the other segment. You could not ask for a better, for this team, a better first big game than Tennessee. I think that is absolutely not because I think they'll win or anything. Not saying because that's a good, but Tennessee with their just, I mean, Admiral and this monster and how physical Tennessee plays. That is the perfect game for Chris Mack to be able to say, no matter the outcome, we're gonna figure out so much right here. Like
which is what you thought in the Bellarmine game.
Yes, and I agree with that.
But here's what I'll say. For those of you who don't know, Coach Davenport beat Bellarmine.
Mm-hmm. Beat Xavier.
Beat Xavier. Coach Davenport beat Xavier a few years back, right?
Yes.
A few years back, he beat him. He went on to win the conference that year, Coach Mack, just by
won 24 games,
just by getting those early season tests, and learning about your team.
And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Look, you're not going to find out a lot Saturday. I mean, there's always something you can take.
Maturity.
Yeah, there's always something you can take, but so I'm not just acting like every game is a big takeaway game.
Brian Hall, this is our snarky favorite at point. We don't need any breaks, man. We can just fire away. Like, listen, who needs the breaks? Other than Bill Escorn's son, other than Jill Blessinger and Becky Bleemel, other than Globe Auto, or other than Windows Plus. Nobody needs these breaks. They want to hear content and substance. Fire away. Woo! You know what? Let me stop streaming right now.